Welcome back to Rooted in the Middle, where I talk about real life, real work, and real faith. I'm Becca, and today I am talking about being right in the middle of summer and what we're doing to not go crazy during the summertime. By crazy, I mean stir crazy. I mean overwhelmed. We're overly bored. We've got too much going on. We've got too little going on, and then everybody reacts differently to all of it. There's a lot of feelings that happen right in the middle of summer. We're at the beginning of July. We just had big 4th of July celebrations and fun. We just got back from vacation the week before that. And it's just been one thing after another, it feels like. And I'm sure I'm not alone in saying that I'm ready. I don't want to wish away time, but I'm ready for some routine. And we've never really been big on routine. Like routines help, and we do have routines, but we've never been so strict with our routines where they, kind of rule our schedule or anything. That's just how we've done it. Some people thrive on very strict adherence to routines, and some people can do okay without it. But our kids go back to school in less than a month. So in less than a month, I have to do supply shopping, school clothes shopping, shoe shopping, start trying to think about some kind of a bedtime routine and some normalcy with our schedules. We've never relied, again, too heavily on those routines, but I can definitely tell now that we're in the thick of the summertime that we are not on a routine. And I'm starting to think maybe we do need one for here coming soon. Routine also could be in reference to not just our schedule, but like the types of meals we're eating, how much screen time, how many breaks we're taking throughout the day from devices and that sort of thing. We need to start being, I talked before about being intentional. These are things I need to start being intentional about, because otherwise the school year is going to crash right into us. Sports are starting back up. I only have one I have two who do sports. Our youngest one does sports, but hers are very elementary school sports, aren't the same as high school sports. But our oldest, Jackson, he is on the high school varsity football team, and I'm actually their team mom. So there's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, trying to make sure that things run smoothly from and I don't want to overextend what I'm actually doing. I would consider myself the person who's making sure that meals are getting done, that the signs are hanging on the fence and we've got every player with a sign, we're like the director of fun, if you will. But there's a lot of planning, good seasons don't just happen. You have to plan for them, prep for them. I'm starting to get more on my calendar, which means I need to start referring to my calendar more, which again starts in the summertime. You just want to kind of let things go by the wayside, especially those first few weeks of summer break when the kids are out of school and it's like, oh yes, I don't have to wake them up as early. I don't have to be on top of them about schoolwork. And all of a sudden, your checklists start being fewer and fewer. Mine don't usually, but this summer they have. But, yeah, we're starting to get some more appointments and practices and events on our calendar, so it's starting to become more vital that I have to take that a little bit more seriously, and that's fine. Not overloading myself has to be intentional. Not underloading myself has to be intentional, otherwise it goes just completely off the rails in either direction. But the Bible actually talks about rest and doing things intentionally and being mindful about everything you're doing. But the rest specifically that I kind of want to focus on, because it's break time, it's summer break. The Bible talks about rest spiritually, physically, mentally, and it talks about the importance of renewing yourself through rest. The Lord gives us opportunities for rest, and those opportunities, we need to take them and take them seriously, because that's when our strength is renewed. The the tendency that we sometimes have to overload our schedules. And trust me, I used to glorify the idea of being busy. I used to, look how busy we are. We've got stuff going on all the time, and we were in the thick of 100 different things. And man, I was tired. And I'm not talking about take a nap tired, just mentally exhausted, physically, emotionally, all the different types of exhaustion you can have. We had it. So I'm trying to be more intentional this summer with our rest and being intentional with our rest. And I'm not meaning rest time every day, but I'm talking, what are we doing to make sure we're not going stir crazy, to make sure we're not overly bored and not overly busy. I'm trying to stay restfully busy. That's not a phrase I've heard before. I don't know that we should coin that, but that's kind of how I feel. Like I want us to be restful, but I don't want us to turn into sloth. Like I don't want us to just veg every day. So what does this look like for us? What have we been doing? I've not been making plans. We don't make a lot of plans in the evenings, thankfully. We just don't. We don't have a huge circle right now. But every single day, we don't have to be gone from the house or have an event. But I'm trying to find things to do. So this year we started a garden, and we're being, again, more intentional with several different areas of life. But our garden takes up some time, and it takes some intentional thought, and it gives us a focus. Me and Cora like to play games together, and sometimes playing a game with a kid can wear you out mentally, but it's important. You need to spend that time with them. But we're playing some games. I'm trying to, feed into our kids' hobbies. Like Caleb flies huge and really cool RC airplanes. It's an expensive hobby, but he enjoys it so much, and we're trying to get him. Trying to get it to where he has a good one that he can fly again. He's got a couple good ones. His biggest one has given him fits. So we're trying to keep his interest there. But we're also allowing for rest. So if you're bored, maybe the answer isn't go find something to do. Maybe it's, why don't you go take a nap? Why don't you rest? There is, an intentional time for rest. If you're needing rest and you can't find anything to do, intentionally take that rest. Allow yourself to rest. Another thing we're doing is reminding our kids that they have an imagination. Cora likes to stay right next to me as much as she possibly can, and she wants me to give her things that she can do. And a lot of times I have to remind her that I am not the director of fun. I am mom, and I work throughout the day. So you need to use your imagination. Sometimes but there's nothing I can do. Well, you have a room full of toys. You have a backyard with a pond and a dock, and you've got all this free time. Use your imagination. I remember when we were kids, I would play teacher for what felt like hours. Like I would make my class list, and are we surprised? I would make a list of kids' names that I didn't even know, or I would just use my friends from school, all their names. There's all kinds of different things kids can do using their imagination that sometimes relying on devices so heavily helps them to forget that they have that imagination on their own and that they can think up fun things to do. We're also balancing our social life and our home life with our downtime. So balancing our home life with our social life. Where are we at? We want to try to be somewhere in the middle. Again, we don't have a huge circle right now, so our social life is not that exquisite or grand, which is completely fine. If anybody knows me, that's fine. Plans are canceled. I'm okay. Totally okay with it. But you do need a balance. You don't want to totally withdraw. You don't want to overextend. So, finding those relationships that are important, that are life-giving, that are meaningful, and that go both ways, it's important. And, balancing and making sure you're making time for them, but also keeping time for your family and your peace and rest, that's also important. So those are just a few of the things that we're doing right now to keep from going stir crazy, to keep ourselves, busy, but still getting the rest we need on this summer break. They're about to go back to school. I said that already, but when we get back into school, things tend to really kick in high gear really fast. Our high schoolers, they have busier schedules. One of them's going to the career center, and they're going to be doing additional training and studies. We have Cora, who's in elementary, and her studies aren't so much the problem, but making sure that she's at least practicing her spelling words and that sort of thing. And Caleb, he does a great job with anything that he does. Sometimes we just have to help him keep on track and make sure he's got everything done. So, which, high school kid, who doesn't? So I work. I have to write lists every single day to make sure I get everything done. So I want us to, don't forget that you're not the only one in the middle of summer. We're all going through it. We're all struggle bus, or maybe we're all doing great. Maybe we're all really thriving, and that's okay. Again, life is not one size fits all. Just because I'm talking about, feeling like we're about to, sorry, I think I got that. Just because I'm talking about sometimes feeling like we're going stir crazy, if you feel completely fine and at ease and your routine's doing great and everything and you don't relate, that's awesome. I applaud you. But also there are people who they're not even able to keep from going stir crazy. They are just, it is chaos central, and that's okay too. There's a way out. There is an end in sight. School does start back, and it's not just school. I mean, I feel like, especially for a lot of larger companies, if you work like you're at the middle of your fiscal year change. Sometimes the fiscal years start from June to July, and that's a busy time for work. It is for me. But just stay encouraged. It's summertime. It's meant to be restful, but make sure you're resting intentionally and not just slothing, but also not overextending yourself. Slothing, is that a thing? I don't know. Clearly, it is the summer, and my vocabulary is all over the place. But all right. Well, you saw my video the other day also that I will be sharing some between the episodes stuff, some recipes or what have you, other lifestyle stuff that I maybe figure out. And that won't be as regular, but if you see something like that, just know I'm not switching gears away from our little talks here, but I'm wanting to incorporate a little bit more, just adjust and do some more of the things that I liked doing a lot, and that I think got a good response. Like right now we're getting ready to start canning, and my mom and I ordered peaches from the peach truck that comes up to our area and from the south. And when I say I ordered peaches, I ordered 55 pounds of peaches. So I will have some work ahead of me in the next few weeks. But I'm looking forward to, to the start of the school year. I don't want to say goodbye to summer yet, but I do look forward to that routine that we tend to get. And I know by Labor Day, I'll probably be done with it. I'll be like, okay, this is for the birds. I'm ready for a break. But that's what, fall break is for. And then Thanksgiving and Christmas will be here before we know it. So, who wants to talk? Who am I kidding? I love Christmas. Clearly, I am rambling, and I'm not going to waste any more of your time. So have a great week. I will see you next time on Rooted in the Middle.